You are now tuned in to a whole lot of nothing podcast, where we take you on a ride about sports, music, and whatever cross our mind. Actually, it's a whole lot of nothing with your hosts, DJ Cousin Crook and your boy, Walter. We're back. Episode number 9, man. We're making it happen. We're just keeping it moving.
Feel like we've been here before.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, we coming in live and hot. We're going to call this our hip-hop edition based off of our last show last week, that Forbes list. We each wrote our own list. We're going to give you all our top 10 rappers, top 10 groups, and top 10 female MCs. But before we do that, man, I just have to touch on this topic, man. Your boy Ryan Garcia, man. What is he got going on, man?
Man, dude went crazy, man. At least Lil Wayne gave him a pass.
Hey, when Lil Wayne say it's okay to say something, you got to go with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that man, it goes back to the thing. I guess if you're not saying nothing and you're just going about it the right way, no one pays attention. But for him to say that, whether you disagree or agree with George Floyd or whatever, but to use the N-word and then say you're gonna dig him up and want to kill him again, you're looking for attention.
Yeah, you're looking for attention, but that's just crossing the line
for sure.
You just leave the dead alone. You know that happened years ago. The man is gone. Again, like you said, whether you agree with what he did, definitely the way he was taken out is not right. But you definitely have to just let that go and not bring it up. But that, like you said, he's just looking for attention, just trying to grab headlines for whatever reason. I don't know if it's alcohol, drug induced, or just being punched in the head too much. I don't know, but
yeah,
it's funny. People always talk about the code, the street code, and this and that, and if this was a few years ago, he might have been touched. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, nowadays, this new generation, they talk about it, but they touch the wrong people, if you know what I mean.
Well,
like
it kind of goes into the Rick Ross and Drake thing. That's not going to end good. Ross said something, and then he goes to Canada and he gets, you got grown men fighting over people that don't even care about him.
Yeah.
And someone from the streets, man, Ryan Garcia said this. Wait, do I see that motherfucker?
Yeah. You never know. But it's just doing too much, man.
Yeah, he went from saying that they kidnapped him and they made him watch them rape kids to wearing a shirt when Tank fought. What did it say? I hate something, and on the back it said, "I'm just kidding."
And then he give me a rematch. Like it's like he's young and he's just looking for attention. It's just that like nowadays it's that shock and awe. It's like when you go see a bad comedian that all they do is just tell dirty jokes that don't make sense.
Right.
Instead of just trying to be funny, and they're trying to just be shock and awe and just say, people go on these podcasts and just say anything. Maybe that's what we should start doing. Just start saying
the most
shit.
Controversial thing
don't
ever,
make any sense at all. And maybe if we do that, we'll go from 20 followers to a million.
Maybe say Sexy Red is really Chris Rock from New Jack City. But
right. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. Speaking of Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, let's just go and get into this list, man.
Okay.
I think we should start. Let's put the ladies first. We're gonna go ladies first.
Let's do that.
We'll go 10 from 1. And I just kick it off, man.
Okay.
My number 10, I went with Trina, my girl from the South, man. She killed it. She came out with Trick, and she killed Trick on that song, by the way. But I went with Trina as my top number 10.
Okay, my 10, Trina.
Look at that. Great minds think alike. That's why we do this podcast. We think just alike.
We got the same for everything.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sure there'll be some differences.
There's definitely going to be some differences.
Yeah.
Number 9, I went with Nicki Minaj.
Maybe not.
It's not necessarily her her being a lyricist, her cadence is for me is basically her longevity, and she has hits, man. And
she got tons of hits.
She got hits.
She got pop hits. She got street hits.
Yeah, she's crossed over.
Yeah.
And she's been out. And you know what, Nicki's? I mean, it's a lot of sexual stuff, but it's not as raunchy, right? You know what I'm saying?
There's cool wordplay to the way she puts it. It makes you think. It just ain't coming like if she said, kind of like how the '69 boys used to hear "kitty kitty." We know what they're talking about.
Right.
She flips it in a cool way. When not let me put this on your head.
Right. So yeah, who you got at number 9?
I got Nicki.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 for 2. We're probably gonna be different on number 8. I went Yo-Yo, man, and not that it's off so far off the scales, but typically you don't hear that name a lot. I don't think she get a lot of the respect that she deserves. But for me, You Can't Play With My Yo-Yo, when that came out, she had the Dookie braids. Huge. Man, she had a hit, man.
Yeah.
Cube and Cube was backing her. So yeah.
And she was pretty, but at the same time, she kind of like street. She
had
like,
the hood feel to it. Yeah.
kind of like that girl from Colors that Pac-Man thought he was hooking up with him, was doing something good, but she's like, "This is what you want, Pac-Man?" But
yeah. But yeah, that's why I got a number 8. Who you got a number 8?
Yeah, me too. No, I'm just joking. I got Missy Elliott.
Missy, yep.
Yeah. She kind of changed with the videos, with the big, the imaging and all that.
Her videos alone just blew her up. Like she was so far ahead of the game with the videos.
Yeah.
And then she's just a talented artist. You know what I'm saying?
And she was kind of her and Timberland were kind of the first ones to do the double time music where they roll the hi hats, but the beat is slower.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Nah, I like that. Number 7 for me is Gangsta Boo, man. She another to me underrated. She was in that 3-6 in that group with all guys. Even though I think they had I can't think of I think a little chant in there was for a minute, but Gangsta Boo was the she held on up against with all the men in that group.
Right.
And probably had the toughest solo album.
No, that's right. Because when it first came out, it was all females from New York. And then when she came out, oh shit, there's girls that can rap other places.
Yep.
I have Lil' Kim.
Lil' Kim, yeah. Lil' Kim, you can't deny that album either, man. Even though Biggie wrote most of her stuff, she flowed right. And speaking of album covers, that album cover, man, I had it on my wall and in my bed, but I didn't want,
Lil' Kim, like Yo-Yo, sexy, but at the same time from.
Yeah. She wasn't as like West Coast hood. She was more. Obviously from New York,
right?
But she had some gangster undertones to her stuff. She rapped hard.
Yeah, I never knew she'd grow up to be a Muppet.
No, right. Number 6 for me, I have Me X.
Another South. That album was tough.
That was probably one of the best No Limit albums that they put out.
Production-wise and everything.
And they put out a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
every 20 minutes.
Right. But yeah, that Me X album was tough.
Yeah.
You got a number 6.
Let me see. I got Foxy Brown.
Okay. Yeah, you can't go wrong. I got Foxy on my list too, but she a little further up. But yeah, Foxy's tough, man.
Yeah, that Foxy's first album, man. And she was good at, doing the street, but that song with Blackstreet.
Yep. Yeah.
That first album, and she had a song with Method Man on that first album. That was a good album.
No, that was a good album.
Yeah.
Number 5 for me is Roxanne Shante. And it's more so, it's like one of those paying homage to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was like one of the first.
Yeah.
And she was so young, and she just had a flow about it, man.
Yeah. And like, she freestyled a lot of that first stuff.
Honestly, I think Shantae's stuff could probably work today, honestly.
Her voice and everything.
Yeah. Production would have to be a little bit more
updated. They changed the production, but she could say what these girls are saying today.
No,
and the way her voice was cool, and she had a cool little squeaky voice.
Yeah.
It definitely sounded good.
Yep, for sure. Who you got number 5?
I got Nikki D.
Okay, Nikki D. Yeah, I heard.
Daddy's Home and songs like that. She wrote songs with meaning, and she had good stuff.
Yeah. I can dig that. I got Remy Mars number 4 for me. Remy always comes hard on every song that she comes out with.
She's almost like a man MC.
Yeah,
not trying to discredit her.
No,
but
for
you know what I mean.
She had
she wrote some raw
yeah.
like in your face. She could hold her own against
and
anyone.
she was in your face, and
Right.
but it was. But it also had the femininity to it.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that's a word. I think I just made up a word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Remy is my girl, man.
Yeah,
that was my
for
number
sure.
4. Who you got at number 4?
Number 4, I got Moni Love.
Okay,
Moni in the middle.
in the middle.
Yeah.
That was probably. I mean, that was a huge hit.
Yeah, and the first time I heard her was on the Queen Latifah album, and they did Ladies First, and her and Queen Latifah was going back, and I was like, damn, this girl's better than Queen Latifah with her delivery and stuff. So
yeah. Foxy's number 3 for me. That's what I have at number 3. I got Foxy at number 3.
Yeah.
Kind of for the same
reasons.
reasons. Yeah. Can't go wrong with Fox.
I got Queen Latifah.
Okay.
And I think because that UNITY, man, is still today. Well, girls think a little different, but it was an anthem for ladies. Like, hey, we could do this on our own.
Yeah.
We don't need, but you could still, in a respectful way.
Yep.
Hey, don't cross us, but we.
Well, she was the one that was like actually the in the forefront of the women's empowerment, right?
Yeah.
All of their songs and
yeah,
things
you
of
would
that
think,
nature.
yeah.
I kind of kicking myself a little bit. I left off the list, but that's the beauty of both of us.
Yeah.
doing it.
Well, we got a little different time period.
Yeah. No, Queen. I mean, I was a little younger, but I know all the Queen stuff.
Right.
She's just classic. Number 2 for me was Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
And that don't even need to be. I mean, she's Lauryn.
Oh yeah, and you know, she that album really uplifted women instead of what's really going on today.
Yeah.
Not to get all political and stuff, but I think the music industry didn't like that. You know, they were empowering women and people were loving it. Nah, we got to make these kids. We got to keep them. Let's dumb it down. And
I think they kind of blackballed her a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why she shouldn't have. I mean, Lauryn Hill. There's no reason she shouldn't have she should have a career like LL, where just album after album after album with her talent of not even just rapping but singing. And honestly, you know, I don't know if this is controversial or not. Wyclef may not like it. It wouldn't be no Fugees without Lauryn Hill. Can you imagine an album with just Wyclef and Pras?
No one even paid attention to that first the first Fugees album. I mean, it was on the radar, but when they came out with "Killing Me Softly" and Lauryn Hill singing, and then you heard her rapping,
yeah. No, I mean, you just imagine a group Fugees, Pras, and Wyclef. Ain't nobody buying that, man.
No. That's bad as when Cannabis and Wyclef were trying to do stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Who you got at number 2?
I got Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at number 1, we probably got the same person. MC Lyte, I mean, the greatest of all time.
Yeah, for sure, MC Lyte.
Yeah, MC Lyte.
I mean, the first time I heard Paper Thin, I was like, damn, she's got the coolest voice.
Yeah.
She's cute.
Yep. Man, we used to have this skating rink in St. Louis. All my St. Louis folks know what I'm talking about, who's around my age. But whenever Cha 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 came on in the skating rink in the dance room, man, it was a banger, you know what I'm saying? And like it was one of those, everybody singing it. And, you know, it's a female song. And the dudes, you know what I'm saying, the toughest of the toughest dudes, the hardest of the hardest gangsters singing Cha Cha Cha. That was one of those images I remember.
Yeah, and that Cold Rocker Party, even when she was, I wouldn't say past her prime, but she was older.
She was old, yeah.
She held her own with Missy Elliott
sure,
on that track,
for sure,
man.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, our female list, man, I think this is a tough list, man. Honestly, the list, when you really think about it, I thought when I first when I was sitting down, I was like, man, let me do top 10 female. I thought I was going to have difficulties, like coming up with just 10 female MCs. But
yeah, and there's a couple I left off, like Nonchalant's first album.
Yep. Rhapsody. I mean, it's some tough women out there, man.
Yeah.
Big up to the females of hip-hop.
All right, we're going to take a break real quick, man, and then we'll come back and you want to do the groups?
We'll hit them with the groups.
All right, sounds good.
We're back. All right, man, let's go ahead and get into our top 10 groups.
All right.
You know, groups, Honestly, probably, we always talk about the MC, the solo acts. Groups probably the toughest to come up with in a good list. But let's go on at it. You want to kick us off with number 10?
Yeah, I'll start it off. I got I did change it. I had Ghetto Boys at number 10.
Okay.
But then I turned around and I was looking through my records before we got on the air, and I got to go. That first De La Soul album is classic, so I'm going. And their other albums are classic,
yeah.
But so I'm going De La Soul at number 10.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, I left De La Soul off my list, but they're actually one of the best concerts I've ever been to, man. The De La Soul put on a good show.
Yeah, I saw them at Rock the Bells in Chicago.
Yeah, they actually put on a great show.
Yeah.
My number 10, I went Run DMC. I know it's kind of sacrilegious that they so low, but they changed the game. Run, and DMC don't get the credit. Run is probably the most recognizable,
right? Because he's louder.
Yeah, Run and Jam Master. It's probably go Run, Jam Master Jay, then DMC.
Yeah,
honestly, but they just fit well together, man.
Perfect group. Yeah,
and they always had to me they had the toughest back and forth, man. Like their back and forth was tough.
Jam Master Jay gave him the street. Run was the cocky dude, and
yeah.
DMC was almost like the super. He was so cool because he didn't really say
too
much.
Yeah,
but he was just cool.
Yeah, and I went Run DMC. Who you got number 10?
Number 9.
Number 9. Yeah,
I got Mantronics.
Yeah, that's right.
They're on the wall.
Yeah,
but you might not know that was they were big in 1984, and the reason I picked them is because I grew up in the South. Bass music was big,
right?
But before bass music, there was no bass, so hip hop was the huge thing, and Mantronic was the first one to kind of fuse, I would say, the Miami bass sound with the New York sound, and it had the bass for your car, and the MCT was kind of cool because he was sing-songy, the way he rapped and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I picked Mantronics.
Yeah, I ain't too familiar with Mantronics, but I'm gonna take your word on it. Maybe we'll have to play some of their stuff for me.
Yeah.
Number 9, I went Bone. Bone Thugs and Harmony, man.
Can't go wrong with that.
I mean, they live up to their name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they harmonize, and that's crazy. I wonder how they came up with that concept. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, because it was so melodic.
Yeah,
the beats are so slow, but the way they
Bone,
tough.
Tough.
They changed. They definitely changed the land. Everyone wanted to be Bone after that.
After that, yeah, everybody. So many groups came out harmonizing and singing, and
I mean, when Biggie does a song with you.
There might be two of the toughest, and they were probably one of the only groups that had a song with Biggie and Tupac, like back to back.
Yeah, yeah.
And both of those are some tough songs.
And that just shows you how much influence and how much people love them.
No, that's good. All right, who you got number 8?
Number 8, I got 2 Live Crew.
Okay.
From the South, I had to pick them.
They put on a hell of a concert, I tell you that, man.
Yeah.
I think 2 Live Crew. I think the actual MCs get overshadowed because of Luke, you know what I'm saying, and him bringing out the girls, and people don't listen to Brother Marquise, Fresh Kid Ice.
Rest in peace to both of them.
Both of them, yeah.
And they changed, they paved the way. No one was cussing on records before.
Nope.
And, people will say NWA, but before NWA, 2 Live Crew was the one that made them get the sticker on the album and all that.
Yeah. Now, Luke was brilliant when it came to that, man.
Oh, he was a great businessman.
And a lot of people need to thank Luke for, pay homage because he fought the courts. He fought the fight that a lot of people wouldn't have wanted to fight, for sure.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you can't go wrong with 2 Live Crew. My number 8, I went with Black Star, man.
That's a good
Mos
one.
Def and Talib, man. I mean, 2 great MCs alone, and then when you get them together, tough.
Production and everything. And the one dude was an actor, right?
Yeah, Mos Def was an actor. Well, his name was what is his? I forgot what his he changed his name to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still know him as Mos Def. But
Abdullah the Butcher. No, that's not what he changed it to. No,
yeah, I forgot what he changed his name to.
Yeah, that album was a classic.
That was a classic album. I wish they would have got more.
Yeah.
Put more out. Number 7.
Number 7, I went with the Fat Boys.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they killed it in Crush Groove.
Killed it in Crush Groove. Disorderlies is one of the greatest underground movies ever.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I also went with a fat dude, but I ain't go with No, I'm sorry. I'm going ahead of myself. Number 7, I went EPMD. Eric Sermon and Paris is tough, man. That's tough. That is a tough group.
I mean, the way they had a different DJ on the first album, but once they got Scratch in there,
yeah.
And what was cool, Eric Sermon had the little lisp. Paris Smith just had
his voice,
dominant voice.
Yeah.
And the way Scratch cut up in the choruses, man, it was
EPMD.
It was perfect.
Yep. No, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
Number 6.
6, I got Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe, man.
First album, still one of my favorites.
How the fuck do I miss Tribe?
Footprints. Oh yeah. Oh, you don't got them?
I do not have Tribe on my list, but I don't even know how I did not put Tribe on my list.
Damn.
Was Benita Applebaum was Tribe, right?
Yeah,
That one just
yeah, they had classic. Can I Kick It?
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
And a lot of their stuff.
Scenarios.
Scenarios is classic.
Yeah.
And a lot of their stuff, but if you don't listen to it, it can go over your head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you don't listen to it.
Like, what's his name? Way underrated. Fife Dog?
Fife Dog underrated,
he said some
stuff.
Stuff.
Yeah. Rest in peace, too. That's
Yeah,
sad we got to say
man,
rest in peace.
yeah.
To a lot of that tells you how old we're getting. A lot of
Yeah, man. It's that time of our life.
Yeah. Number 6, I went 8-Ball to MJG.
Ooh,
I think that group don't get a lot of as much respect as they should have. One thing I do hate is that they signed with Puff late in their group. They should never went with Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Even though they had that one hit, but their first stuff coming out hard and Space Age Pimpin' just is classic, man.
Yeah, when before Puff kind of tried to say commercialize them albums were and they fit each other perfect. Different styles.
Way different styles, but definitely perfect.
Yep.
What we at? Number 5?
I got Beastie Boys.
Okay. I mean, that's another iconic group, you know what I'm saying? And they paved the way. For a lot of people. And one thing I like about Beastie Boys, you could tell they was just 3 white dudes that wanted to rap, man. They just love music, actually.
Yeah, just love music because they were a punk group, but they just wanted to have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, yeah.
And they stayed fun. One of the first albums I bought by myself because of Luke had the parental advisory on it. And I'll never forget that album had the plane on the front.
Yeah.
But I remember I came home with that album. And I remember my dad was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And I played Paul Revere, and he just had a regular record player. I'm trying to scratch just because of the scratches on Paul Revere,
right,
fucking up the whole album.
The whole backside of the album, you scratched up. Yeah. You forgot that you didn't have the butter rug underneath it, and just tearing it up.
Now Paul Revere skips the whole time. Yeah, but yeah, that was a tough out.
Yeah.
We're number 5, right? Number 5, I went NWA.
They could be anywhere in the top 10.
Top 10, yeah. But NWA, they just did it for me, and both variations with Cube and without Cube. I can go. You couldn't go wrong with NWA.
So who was out of that group? Who did you like listening to the best?
For me, it was Cube and Easy.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that's not our age, they don't realize that first NWA album is not an NWA album. It's Easy. It's an Eazy-E album. That Easy does it.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of. But Dope Man is classic. And Gangsta is just classic.
Oh yeah. I always like Ren's voice. I thought solo wise, obviously, Cube, but together, I think together they all had cool voices.
They did, and Ren balanced it out because Easy and Cube's voice was so identifiable.
Right.
And Dre would have his tones, but Ren was just you could tell he was a lyricist.
Yeah.
But he had a little edge to him. But they all just fit together.
Yeah.
You got number 4.
Number 4, I got Outkast.
Okay. Some people might have them a little higher. I do, but but I'm with it. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because I didn't like it at first.
Oh yeah.
Because they came out. I think they came out about 95, 94, and I grew up with the bass music and everything was up tempo. Luke 2 Live,
right?
JT Money, Poison Clan, Black Pack, and all that. And then Outkast came out, and it was just so much different. And I'm like, I don't know. And then I was like, man, these dudes are serious.
Yeah. No, I'm with it. Number 4 for me, I have the Locks. 3 MCs.
Yeah.
A perfect group.
Perfect.
A lot of people talk about Kiss, but Chic and Styles P. Some of the Styles P stuff I would play before Kiss stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I still play that.
Yeah.
That Get High.
Yeah.
Chic had one of his favorite songs that I liked was off his solo out that Good Love.
Yep.
One of my favorites.
Nah, I
you can't go wrong with them.
Nah.
Yeah. Number 3, EPMD.
Okay.
We talked about the reasons why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Number 3 for me, I had Wu-Tang. It's one of those, it's just one of the greatest groups of all time. When you have like legit shit, it felt like 45 MCs on one album.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's almost.
RZA had a plan.
Yeah, it did, and it's almost cheating because the Wu-Tang could be in their own category, really.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But they also, if you really think about it, they paved the way because, and just two groups off the top of my head that kind of did the same thing was Nelly and the Lunatics, right?
Yeah.
They were all a group, but then they all had their own solo thing, even though they obviously were. The rest of them were never as big as anyone in Wu-Tang besides Nelly.
Right.
And then the Hot Boys, right? They all had their own solo stuff. And I think Wu-Tang was the first ones to be like, okay, let's take this group, but then individually, we signed it with different. They were with different labels. They,
Yeah.
And,
well, it's crazy too because RZA and GZA were in the Gravediggers together.
Yeah.
And then they flipped that. And RZA had a great plan because, like you said, they're almost in their own category because let's look at it like all the groups were picking, just say their cities.
Right.
Wu-Tang is like a whole state.
Yeah.
It's just like a state. They had so many. And a solo album. I would have liked to hear some of them albums when then they get wrecked in the flood. That he had produced.
Oh, he probably had some bangers, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he got classics without that.
Yeah.
All right, number 2?
Yeah.
Who you got number 2?
I got Houdini.
Okay.
The reason I picked them, they were probably the first rap group besides Force MDs, maybe. Well, Force MDs was more on the R&B really.
tip, yeah.
But to have singing in the hook, the R&B songs, but then they could come back with like 5 minutes of funk and funky beat and all that stuff. So
now Houdini, and I've never seen them live, but I watch a couple of a couple of tapes and documentaries, and they look like they put on the show. I think they were one of the first ones to have dances all over the place. Houdini was tough, man. Man. I mean, you can't go wrong with him.
No.
For me, number 2 was Outkast. Just for the impact we talked about that.
From you being for St. Louis though, what made you say, "Damn, this is"?
I think for us, or at least for me, it was kind of the opposite of you, where you didn't, you coming from Miami, where it was the fast pace. St. Louis, we don't really have. I mean, we had some artists.
You were grasping from every.
But we had a couple of local artists that was big and locally, but that smooth, low player groove was it, and that was another one that was bang in the skating rinks.
Oh, okay.
Especially everybody had all the Cadillacs and the cars, and we was bumping that.
Yeah, that Dungeon Family production is second to none, man. The way then rest in peace to
Rico Wade. Yeah, man. All right, your number one.
Number one, I got Run DMC.
Can't go wrong with that.
Nah, and they changed the game because people say the Beastie Boys were the first to. No, because when Run DMC did Walk This Way, it opened the doors of where average, it was everywhere in the suburbs and the streets might have not liked Walk This Way, but it opened it up to all the other people. Yeah. And that's when hip hop, I think, became universal. Where it wasn't just a certain kind of music. Now it was for everyone.
Yeah. No, I get it. My number one, it might be controversial, but I went with Boys with the Bass, man.
Yeah, riding out the South on the lowriders.
Cousin Crook had the flows, and
back then I was MC Boom,
and then T Quest. You can't go wrong with them cats, man. Nah, in all seriousness, my number one was UGK, man. Pimp C and Bum B, you just. Again, we sound like a broken record, but they said they just fit well together.
Perfect together, man. Like Bun B, better lyricist.
Yeah, for sure.
Pimp C's delivery, it don't matter what he said, he would make it sound cool.
His voice
he
is
could be talking about
undeniable.
eggs and cooking toast. He would make it sound cool.
There'll never be another Pimp C.
No.
And he was a true pimp. He pimped the industry like no other, man.
Oh, yeah, and he wasn't scared of no one.
He didn't give a fuck, man.
He told Jay-Z, I don't think I want to do that.
So
and when he got out of jail, I don't know if you ever heard the one song, he took the Tom Petty Free Fallin' and chopped it up to I'm Free.
Yep.
Oh, he killed it. He killed it, man.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah.
UGK #1 for me, man.
All right, man. Well, we'll take a break and we'll come back with the
top 10 rappers.
Yes.
Solo.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hit them with our top 10 rappers, solo rappers of our top 10 rappers of all time.
Oh, yeah. This ain't
this ain't the Forbes.
No. Who wrote that shit? Who did you say wrote it?
I think the Muppets or fuck. I don't know who wrote that damn list.
Earlier you said Ryan Garcia
Ryan
wrote
Garcia wrote that's right. I don't know who the fuck made that list.
Goddamn, Lil Wayne told him it was all right.
He was like, man, that list is tough.
Yeah.
Forbes. All right, man. Top 10 rappers. I kick it off.
Okay.
My number 10, I'm going with Scarface.
Excellent choice.
I know he was a member of the group, but his solo stuff is he's probably more known for his solo stuff. Like, if I'm ever just riding and just want to vibe, man, I just put on that Mary Jane.
Yeah.
And again, I don't even smoke weed, but for some reason, that mug just get you you could just vibe to that song, man.
Yeah. Now he had, that the diary and the fix is what made me really say, man, this guy can, because the early Ghetto Boys, I was like, but when Mind Playing Tricks on Me and them two verses and that, I was like, man, this dude's really right.
Yeah. Early Ghetto Boys, you could tell the production was horrible.
Oh, it was done on a 4-track.
Yeah. I remember Ready Red. They had Ready Red.
That's
Ready
right.
Red. I remember his whole verse from that song.
Yeah.
But yeah, Face is
and he killed it on that you said.
That Tiny Desk.
Yeah, man.
That portrayal of catapult him with the new generation.
Yeah,
because not a lot of people knew about. I bet you these kids didn't know about a Scarface, but when they saw him do that Tiny Desk,
right,
he killed it.
Whether
man.
you want to hate or not, you can't knock talent. I mean, he killed it. Okay, I'm going number 10. Yeah. I got the DOC.
Like DLC that comes down to the landing, or
nah, that's DMC.
That's that's right.
Run DMC. But I got the DOC, man, because his career was cut short. But man, the way his voice was and his flow over Dre's production.
Oh yeah, Getting Funky Enough is a classic.
Yeah, mine was The Formula.
The Formula is classic.
Yeah.
I mean, his whole.
Yeah.
Speaking of DOC. I think we might have discussed it before, but do you think if DOC never would have gotten into the accident, would we have a Snoop D-O-double-G?
That's a good question, because if DOC doesn't get his vocal cords slashed, does Dre even go look for new talent? Or does he ride out DOC and be like, man, I got, kind of like when he got Eminem. He always think DOC was that talented, and he wrote for everyone where, okay, this first DOC album was, that's crazy, man, because with the DOC's production, would he been rapping over Gin and Juice? Would that been DOC?
Right. Or, think about this, The Chronic is such a classic album, would The Chronic be just as classic with DOC instead of Snoop? I don't think so.
Snoop was cool because he never really looked at the camera.
Right.
He was tall and lanky,
and his voice goes
cool.
with his voice just goes well with Dre, and Maybe the production would have been different if DLC is on there because you got to produce a little bit different.
Around who the rapper is. Right.
Speaking of Snoop is my number 9. I got Snoop number 9.
Oh, that's first album classic, man.
Classic. And he's constantly coming out with constantly albums and hits, and he's still putting stuff out.
Yeah. They just came out with a new Dog Pound album that he's all over.
No, Snoop is probably the most recognizable worldwide.
Yeah. Now his second album without Dre was, and then we went to Master P and them.
I don't know, man. That Dogfather, man. I'm telling you, it was sneaky. It was sneaky good.
But then he came back with his longevity is crazy because a lot of rappers would have fell off.
Nah,
but
Snoop,
man, he came back with Drop It Like It's Hot and Sexual Seduction.
But he stays Snoop though. You know what I'm saying?
Right, he did.
He don't try to. And I think he can switch up his style if he wanted to. But he stays. Well, he did. I mean, we put out the reggae album for a minute.
Yeah. He was one of the Marley Brothers.
Yeah, and didn't do very well.
No.
But but the dude is everywhere.
Yeah.
Who you got at number 9?
I got Slick Rick.
Okay.
Best storyteller ever.
For sure. Yeah. And he got a cool voice with the British accent.
Oh, yeah. And then he would change his voice. He'd be one person, then he'd be another person. And
Slick.
Classic. Children's story classic.
Classic. Number 8, I got Kanye. That college dropout was classic. Through the Wire is probably one of my favorite songs.
Probably one of his best.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think I was telling when I heard him on the I think it was the Dynasty album when his very first
appearance as a rapper.
Right. Yeah, he was always producing stuff for Rockefeller. I remember we was at my my cousin's house and my best friend, and they was like, "Man, you got to hear this." And Jay is rapping, Beans rapping, Freeway, Petey Crack, and then
I forgot about him.
Yeah, and then what's my man name? Dame Dash says, even our producer can rap. And Kanye started rapping. Man, I went to go slam the door, and I broke the window out the door. Man, I was so amped. But that verse was cold. I mean, and then he just had he just had a run ever since. You know
he kind of changed it too because everyone was rapping about cars and this and that and how much money they got. He was kind of rapping about real shit.
Well, if you think about it, he was what do you call it, a backpack rapper, but not really. You know what I'm saying? Like he wasn't quite Lupe Fiasco, but he also wasn't quite a Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the lyrics in All Falls Down is genius, man. Genius.
Yeah.
Where we at?
Number 8.
Number 7, right?
No, number 8.
Oh, number 8.
Yeah.
It's my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn. Who got number 8?
Got Alzheimer's. I got to represent for the South since born and raised. I got JT Money at number 8.
JT Money. Aye.
He was done, and then he came back. He moved to Atlanta and put that out, and that resurrected his career.
Yeah, no, JT.
But I always go, that Poison Clan, it says Poison Clan, but it's basically a JT Money album, man.
Yeah.
And that action and Shake What Your Mama Gave You and all that, I was like, oh, man.
He had that deep, raspy voice, too.
Well, the first Poison Clan was him and Devin, I think it was Debonair.
Yeah,
something. But anyways, but that next one he went solo really and did the Poison. Man, he killed it, man.
Yeah, he had that. He was one of the first ones that in the Florida area that wasn't just about the booty shaking and all that. Like he was actually rapping and flowing.
Yeah, when you got Biggie co-signing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I like JT. Yeah. Number 7, I got Ice Cube. I got Cube, man. That America's Most Wanted.
Oh,
and then Once Upon a Time in the Projects. You want to talk about telling stories just in a different way.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And then No Vaseline is probably the greatest battle song ever.
Jackin' for Beats.
Yeah. Now Cube is special.
Cube was cool because when he left NWA, he didn't stay L.A. He went to the New York producers, the Bomb Squad, and they fused the sound. Kind of reminded me almost of like Public Enemy beats because they did Public Enemy, but West Coast. He stayed with the West Coast feel and everything. Then he brought in Chuck D and what was that? Burn Hollywood Burn.
Yeah,
he had Big Daddy Kane on there. Yeah.
No, that was tough.
Yeah.
Who you got number 7?
Vanilla Ice. No,
buddy.
Number 7, I got Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah. Okay.
We already know why on that.
Yeah. Number 6 for me, I went Big Pun.
Ooh.
It's so hard.
Yeah, he could rap, man.
Pun was a great rapper, man.
Yeah, he could put his words together, man.
No,
Spitfire.
Yeah. Just wish he would have took a little better care of his health. But
yeah. Fucker got big.
Man.
I guess when he was riding that moped in the video, though, it kind of helped his image, I guess, but didn't help his heart. Shit.
You got number 6.
Number 6, I got Biggie.
Okay. I mean, it's big, you know what I'm saying? Ain't too much to say that.
Right.
At number 5, I got Tupac.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and again, I'm one, and it's known about me. I'm not the biggest Pac fan. I know it may be sacrilegious and everything.
Yeah.
But and I think we talked about it before. I'm a Pac fan. I'm a bigger Pac fan before Death Row.
Yeah. When
he probably had bigger hits with Death Row, obviously, but
I Get Around, Brenda's Got a Baby, all that.
Yeah.
I got a head, but there ain't no screws, and he's naming off all the groups.
Yeah. Nah, I got Pac as number 5.
Yeah, I got Pac at 5 too.
Oh, okay. And then my number 4, I got Big as number 4 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Number 4, I got LL Cool J is hard as hell. I got LL at 4.
LL, I mean, he just got a long run, man, of just hits after hits. Hell, he just put out a hit.
Yeah. He got a new album coming out, produced by Q-Tip.
Yeah.
I love hearing all these
older
rappers. Yep. Commons coming out with Pete Rock.
Now the only thing, LL could have kept that pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by a building, man. He could have kept
sometimes
that.
you could reach too far.
He must have had like a 4-album deal with somebody. And it was like, let me just throw some bullshit out there.
10-album deal with Def Jam. He was probably like,
right.
I think I'm gonna write a song tonight. Toenail clippers, a big yellow toenail that's curled up the wrong way with a crease in it.
You gotta be on some bullshit if your name of your album is pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by a building. Like, you just don't come up with that.
Nah, you're just
bullshitting around.
You're just making up shit.
Yeah. Who you got at number 4?
My number 4 was LL.
Oh, that's right. Shit, I got the same all time. Shit. We both must have been.
Who do you have 4?
I had Biggie. Big.
Oh shit! I went first. Yeah. God damn.
No, I went first. I said Big.
Okay, you went first, so now it's back to me.
No, we up to 3. We on number 3. Nas. I got Nas at number 3.
How did I leave Nas off? That's I should be fired like the Forbes list.
I'm looking for a new co-host. Yeah, that Illmatic is classic, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Nas is just Nas, man.
That first album changed the game. I know I say, there's certain things like basketball, like Magic changed it, and Larry, Jordan, Curry, Shaq. And Nas kind of changed it because every producer wanted to work with him. So you got Pete Rock on there. You got Q-Tip. You got Large Professor. I know I'm forgetting that. He had like 5 or 6 producers.
Yeah.
And back then, usually you had one producer do the whole album.
That was, He
definitely changed.
And that's because the record labels wouldn't allow you to switch up like that.
But he got a great budget for that album.
Yeah. And then Ether is just a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Who do you have at number 3?
Got Big Daddy Kane. When Set It Off came off. Set It Off.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
He was the first one that was like ladies man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was kind of
smooth.
Ahead of his time on the ladies
he was real
stuff.
smooth and ladies and
smooth operator.
Yeah. I like Kane. I like Kane for sure. And at number 2 for me, I got Jay-Z. I got Jay-Z at number 2.
I left him off too. I might lose my hip hop card today.
Yeah, we might have to take your card, man.
God damn.
Turn in all of these albums on the wall.
Yeah. I forgot him, but when you go Jay-Z's top 3, right?
Easily.
If you're picking,
yeah. A lot of people name him number 1. I don't have him number 1, but he's definitely a GOAT. Like,
man, he had a run there with the Blueprint and all them albums. Even his first album.
To me, his best album was, a lot of people say Blueprint 1. But to me, his best album was Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, and tell them the story when you heard 22 Twos or whatever the first.
Yeah, man, I was I think I was in college or somewhere, and I was at his show, and it was 112, and that was another story, but it was 112, then Jay-Z, and then Foxy Brown was the headliner.
Oh, nice.
Jay-Z Reasonable Doubt hadn't even dropped.
Ain't that crazy? Foxy Brown was a bigger draw than
yeah. Well, she was out before, you know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z hadn't even.
Right.
He hadn't even. I think he was around.
He did a Hawaiian Sophie with Jazz.
And he had, he was coming out with Reasonable Doubt, and he did 22 Twos, and I was just sitting there, like, he did it a cappella, too, like, music cut, and he just said 22 Twos, and I think I remember with a lot of my friends, it went over their heads, because he literally saying 22 Twos, and it was, man, that was a moment.
Yeah.
That was a moment. But yeah, that's not who you got. Number 2.
Number 2, I got Rakim.
Okay.
Changed everything. Back then, the flow. Hip hop was kind of going at a faster pace. Everything was a little quicker, and he just slowed it down. And it was, man, who didn't want to? Just probably the best hip hop voice ever, I would say.
No, no doubt. And so much so that he's number 1 for me. Like, he's the god. Like, Rakim, like, hell, I always wanted to play Mahogany all the time. That's just classic for me, man. But like you said, he's got one of the greatest voices ever.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
What was the video one day we're in the street? Was that I Ain't No Joke?
I Ain't No Joke.
Yeah, that Flavor Flav was in the video.
Yep. Well, Rakim is one of those voices, no matter what, he could be on a song with 500 MCs. When he comes on, you know it's Rakim.
You know it's rock. Yeah. And you're going to pay attention.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Who you got number 1? Well, I kind of know, but I'll let you go ahead and say it today.
I got Cool G Rap.
Cool G Rap.
Yes. A lot of MCs, they took the style from him, man. He was probably the first real spitfire dude where he was putting syllables and words together where it wasn't just the average knock, knock, I'm at the door, blah, 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 for sure. But he would be like, I'm at the door for more, pour, sure, for. And man, the way he spit was like, this is crazy, man. How does this guy even think of this?
I know, and what's even crazier, like his voice is classic too. Like
with a little lisp and
and it makes you listen to him, but it makes you listen to him even more because it's so distorted a little bit, but it makes it cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, the streets of New York, you're basically listening to a movie.
Yeah,
the way he wrote.
I wonder why he never. Maybe because he stayed true to himself. Like he never had a crossover hit.
Nah, he never did. The biggest one might have been with Nas when they took that Happy beat by Surface. Yeah. But that was, it kind of. Yeah. I think because his hooks were never like commercial. If that makes sense.
I know he's your favorite rapper because you always talk about it. But what was the moment like when you heard him? Like what was it about G Rap?
I think I went to. And I don't even know if this song was on his album. I went to New York with my friend my senior year of high school. And I think we went to the Wiz record store, and they got records everywhere, man. Yeah. My friend's getting mad because I already been there 2 hours.
Right.
He wants to go, but I would buy, back then I'd buy records by the label. And I knew Cold Chill and MC Shan and everything. And I saw Cool G Rap, and it was Rikers Island. And I picked it up, and I was like, damn, this dude is... Just the way, I'm not even Rikers Island. I didn't even know it was a prison in New York. I didn't even know what he was talking. Obviously you figure it out.
Right.
Like this dude, and then he had that Sincerely Yours on the first album. And I think I told you the story, but I'll tell the people. Like I'm in 38, I don't know, maybe young 30s, something. And my best friend in Chicago, Mintz, flies me up. He says, man, come up for your birthday, we'll hang out. And we get there, and he goes, I got a surprise for you. So we go downtown. I'm not a big baseball fan, but I'm thinking, maybe a Cubs game or this and that. Right. I turn and see the marquee man, Cool G Rap, and KRS-One live in concert. Man, I was like a little kid again, man. It's like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I was sitting there thinking, he might have one of the coolest names in hip hop though.
Yeah.
Cool G Rap. That's a tough name. That is tough.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was gonna ask, well, like, who you like? Give me your top 3 names in hip hop, like rap names.
Oh, that's so hard because like if I was to say right now, man, we're gonna call ourselves Run DMC. You'd be like,
right.
What?
That's right.
Right. But now that you've heard it so much, CL Smooth is a cool name.
CL Smooth is a cool name.
I don't know how I left them off the
right.
The top
we both
ropes.
did. I'm gonna tell you a cool name. Ghostface Killer.
Oh,
that is hard, man. G-Rap and Ghostface,
Ghostface might be one of the best.
That's hard.
Yeah.
That is a hard name.
Yeah.
Ghostface Killer. Like I want to. Like
I
would love to have.
We might have to do that where we sit down and we really analyze
the names. Yeah.
Like cool names. Like
go.
Because that's cool. Because like, what are they gonna call you when they see? Oh, what's up, Ghost?
Ghost. Right.
That's cool. You know.
Cool
Yeah.
Name. Yeah, man. I think we came with some cool lists. I like we have.
Who do you have at number one?
Rakim.
You had Rakim.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rakim,
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
It's funny, like that Forbes list, and I know we left. It's our perspective, but like
we left people. I'm looking at our list right now, and I'm like, we left off Stetsasonic as a group.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan, but Lil Wayne could have been up there, right? As far as MC.
newer. Yeah.
It's a lot of, but that just shows you the beauty of hip hop, right?
Right.
And think about it, man. Hip hop is only 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, Digital Underground.
Could have been up there. Like, it's so many. Like when you sit there and like this was the hardest thing to do. Like I know we was talking shit on Forbes, but then when I sat down and did it was like, oh shit.
I love Chubb Rock, but I don't know if he would be my top 10,
right? I could have changed my list probably 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, for sure. I could change the order of the list.
Yeah,
too,
and just scratching off. But yeah, that's just the beauty of these debates, man. I think we can go ahead and wrap up this hip hop, ode to hip hop, man. Hopefully next week the Olympics will start.
Breakdancing. You did the javelin, right? Growing up?
I did that. Me and my country, we won in ping pong back in the 60s.
I saw a guy playing ping pong the other day that had no arms. I swear to God, and he put the ping pong paddle in his mouth.
And was killing it.
That fucker was killing it.
He was killing it, yeah, man. I wonder if he's going to be in the Olympics.
Oh, no.
Well, I guess next week we can hit him with some sports. And I kind of like the list thing, man.
We'll start doing more lists.
We'll think about some other lists. And then,
lists are good.
Yeah. And then next week we'll probably come up with another.
Our top 10 fast food restaurants.
Man, we'll kill that. Like your top 10 candies.
Yeah.
Anything with food is good.
Yeah.
Or we can.
How about not the? I don't know why it just popped in my head. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But how about Surprise Face Saturday? That was just real happy. That came up by herself.
Man, she was super happy. I don't know what she was happy.
Can you imagine? Like her face couldn't change because I'm thinking it was Botox.
Right.
But can you imagine coming home from work and be like, "Man, honey, they just laid me off, and my brother died," and she's like,
"Sorry, babe, that's okay."
Smiling at me. And
actually, it might be all right. She might cheer you up, man. But
or you might want to throw a pot off. She
scared the shit out of us on Saturday, though.
Yes, she did. I don't know why that popped in my head. But.
That's funny. Yeah. All right, man. That's another week, another showdown, man. Appreciate you. Check us out on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple. Wherever you listen to your podcast, check us out, man. We're trying to grow this thing.
Yeah, we might even start putting it out on cassette tapes. We're not sure
man, yet. I'm thinking 8 tracks. Yeah. Hey, look at us, people. We came with paper and pen this week.
Right. We don't even use computers here. We'll look at our phone every now and then. Sometimes our phone rings when we're trying to do it. Sometimes my daughter walks in with a bird that she just bought.
This is the most unprofessional podcast, but keep checking us out, man. Keep supporting us. We just 2 dudes trying to make it.
Whole lot of nothing.
It's a whole lot of nothing.